Hello, hello! So, I thought we'd have a look at the Crankcase figure from the Dark of the Moon series. It is a Transformer, it's not a Gundam. I am a fan of Transformers as well, so you'll be watching a lot of views based on Transformers. This is a Crankcase. It's a Deluxe class figure from the new Dark of the Moon series, and it's looking pretty good from what I can see so far. It has got the mech tech weapon. This is something that all the new Transformers are coming up with. And obviously, depending on what size you get, whether it's a Deluxe or a Voyager, you do get different kinds of weapons. From what I've seen so far, they are interchangeable. So you can use this mech tech weapon with another Deluxe class or a Voyager weapon, or use multiple weapons in the same figure, however you want to do it. This is Crankcase, and it's quite unique. Look at the face. I really haven't seen many faces like that here. You did get a few very biological looking faces, I guess you could say. It's the best way of describing it. But this just looks mean. I haven't seen anything this mean on a Deluxe class figure. You also get some kind of a card. I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm sure we'll get it and have a look at it. It's a typical packaging. So you've got the picture of the robot as well as the alt mode on the back. You've got a bio as well. Now, I haven't heard too much of this figure in the past. From what I can read, it's an infiltrator, so it's basically some guy who's going to be going around scoping things out, kind of like Laserbeak did with Soundwave and Megatron in the G1 series. This is not Laserbeak. We do actually have a Dark of the Moon Laserbeak figure, so that's completely different. And but this is okay. It's not bad. I was kind of intrigued with the robot mode. The robot mode looks really nice. So this is one of the main reasons I got it. I just hope there's not a lot of undercarriage where you can see all the robot parts underneath the alt mode. So, typical packaging. You can see all the strengths and intelligence and speed there. Pretty normal. Seems to be an average guy. I don't think he's going to be a major part of the actual movie itself. Maybe he's just going to be one of those guys you see running around in the alt mode, but I don't know if he's going to have a major role. This is one of the things about me as well. I mean, I'm trying not to find out anything about the movie. I've seen like one trailer. That's about it. This way, even if it does suck, I'm gonna be somewhat enjoying the movie when I see it, because I haven't really learned so much about it in advance. Okay, let's get this guy open, see what he's like. Okay, so having opened up the package itself, you actually get a couple of different things which are pretty nice. Now again, this is the first time I am getting a Dark of the Moon figure, so a lot of these things are new to me, but I find them pretty cool. So the figure itself is not bad, but we'll come back to it in a second. Let me show you a couple of things you get with it. This is a Takara figure, Takara Tomy, sorry, and you get this. I wish I knew Japanese, but it's kind of cool. They actually show you that you've got a completely new way of reading the specifications for the actual figure itself. Let me show that to you. You get a picture of the figure. Yes, I know it's going to look completely different from what the actual one it is going to be in Transform 2, but this is pretty nice. Now, you've got something over here. Let me see if I can bring it up close. There. So now you actually have the specifications over there. And going back to the G1, the way you do it is you get this other card, and if you overlay it on top, you can actually see its point system. So you get to see how much its armor is, how much your power is, speed is, and it does give you its score and power scores and all that. I don't know what this means. I'm going to have to look up the English version to see how it works. But I really like this. I really like the way it works. And the clear version itself does have the points on it. It also has the mech tech weapon, and it shows you how much more of a power it gets if you add the mech tech weapon to it. I'm assuming this is plus 3,000 to it's already plus 4,500. So this is pretty cool. I kind of like that. And in addition to all of that, you do get your normal transformation instructions. Now this is something I haven't noticed before also. If you look at it this way, this shows you how to go from alt mode to robot mode. And if you turn it around, it shows you how to go from robot mode all the way down to its alt mode. So that's kind of neat, because normally, from what I remember, you get the instructions which are just one way, and then you kind of have to figure your way around to go back. The alt mode itself is very nice. I like the way it is. From here, you don't see any glaring robot parts. I mean, a little bit over there, but that could be anything, you know, busted something or the other from the front as well. But it's not bad at all. The mech tech weapon, there are 2 ports on the top, and it just plugs in. Let me see if I can show you. There, so you get the 2 ports, and the MechTech weapon literally can go from one side to the other, and it just plugs in that way. The MechTech weapon itself, it's pretty standard. It goes from being the gun thing to a claw. So that's pretty cool. There's a lot of nice detail in here. You can see all the rivets. Let me see if I can focus in. You can see all the rivets in there and the railing. It's not bad. I wonder if I can go in there with some paint and see if I can bring out some of these details. I don't know. Something to look at. It's another project. The alt mode itself, it's very nice. It is a Chevy. Probably some kind of Chevy Suburban SUV kind of vehicle. I like how they've actually put in this over here. I'm wondering if that's part of the transformation itself, but at the moment it kind of looks like, you know, that little foot thing that helps you get on because these guys are a little high to get into. So, but I like the way how that looks. Yes, glaring robot parts, but you know, it's okay because you can't really see the face, so it doesn't have the visible face syndrome. These are obviously going to be his wing kind of things that come out of the shoulders. You've got the chest piece there. You can kind of see the feet coming out from here, but it's okay. They don't shout robot feet, and when you're, you know, when you've placed it on the floor here, you can't tell. So it's a nice alt mode. I like it. It's not bad at all. My only gripe with it is this thing over here. Now I know you can get a lot of Suburbans and GMCs and work them up so these guys are really high off the wheels, but this is neither that nor a normal one. You know, it's just kind of in the middle somewhere. There's just too much space between the wheel itself and the bumper over here. It should have been a little bit lower, or they should have literally made it look higher, so you know, you can tell it's one of those big bad boys. But that's my only thing. Otherwise, it's okay. It rolls fairly well. There's no issues with the rolling, and there's enough clearance from the parts that are sticking out at the bottom, so it's not gonna bump into anything. The transformation of Crankcase it's very nicely done. I thought there was going to be a lot of kibble issues, but it's not that bad at all. First thing you do, let's take off the MechTech weapon and put it to the side. We can always bring that out later. We lift up the back hit. This automatically loosens this part a little bit. Put it on the top. We come around to the front, open up the front hatch, and take these out. Just move them out to the side for the moment. The next thing we do is take the whole of the back part, loosen it out like that. This is going to become the feet. Now the feet transformation itself is my favorite part. I've loved the way they've used the engineer to hide the wheels. I thought it was going to be something similar to one of the other first movie line Transformers, I'm forgetting his name, Sideswipe, where he uses the wheels as part of his feet. But this is done in a very nice way. Okay, so now what do we need to do is loosen the arms. You can just take them out like that, and like that. Move it up a little bit. The next thing we do is we take the chest part down. This reveals the face. Now, can you see this? This is a peg, and on the back side, I don't know if you can see, is a port. Let me see if I can get the light there. There's a port. Basically what happens is the chest part and the arms peg together to hold everything into place. You just have to line them up on both sides, and there we go. So now the chest is pegged into the arms. So these guys are not going to go anywhere. Now, how we actually want to place the arms and do it is totally up to us. The way we're told to do is we take the hands out. The wheels we fold down so they become part of the tricep. Do a little bit of a bend there, and then we can move the shoulders out like that a little bit. Sorry, you didn't see that. Let me do it here. So you bring the hands down, flip out the hand, the wheel plugs in as part of the tricep, give it a little bit of a bend, and swivel the door around a little bit. There you go. That's the hands done. Now this I don't like too much. It's cosmetics really, that has no purpose except to give it a little bit of character, but the trouble is they're really made out of rubber. There's no plastic, there's nowhere for them to bend, it's just kind of like hair. Kind of reminds me a little of Nadlia from Gundam 00. But this is nice, it looks good, but the trouble is it doesn't stay down, so it's always coming up like that, blocking the face, blocking everything. So don't know what to do about that. Now how do we take care of this part? This is pretty easy. It's done very nicely. It folds down. I was scared I was going to break it, but no, it's fine. Break down. And this thing, if you want, you can leave it like this, so it gives you the curves on the outside. If you want, you can actually fold them around like that. So now you've got the blades in the pincer format, so it looks like a crab or a lobster or a scorpion or something. This is how it shows you're supposed to keep it. And look at that. I know he's sitting down, but look at that. He has no backpack. Well, okay, fine, he has a backpack, but he has no kibble to speak of. Everything is folded away really, really nicely. Now the feet. Let's split them up, so you get them separated. This is really well done. If you open up this part, you get the toes. How do you actually get them? Now, you have a sliding mechanism over here for the wheel. What you do is, you can actually move the wheel, let me see if I can show it, like that. And then, when you move it back, you can actually get this thing to come underneath it. There. See? And that's the foot. And then when you turn it around, you've got the foot done. Let me do it again. So this is how you do it. You bring this part down, you take the toes out, just bring it down a little bit. The wheels, you have to pull it down to give it clearance, and then you can pull it back and bring the whole toe part underneath it. And this gives the toe support, this gives the wheel support, and it gives you balance because you've got the heel spur. And you just turn it around. And there you go. For all means and purposes, we have Crankcase completely transformed. So here we have Crankcase in his robot mode. It's very, very nice. Like I told you, this is absolutely fantastic. The amount of detail that they've given him in the face, if I can get his rubber hair out of the way, is really, really nice. There's a lot of detail. It really does look fantastic. And my favorite part is it doesn't have kibble. It's very, very nicely done. It does have very good articulation, so you can get a lot of movement out of this guy. The arms do turn 90 degrees, but they do swivel and turn 360 all over the place, so you've got some excellent movement in the arm. The legs themselves are on ball joints. They do bend that much, so you get, again, very nice movement, very nice poses. Now, I do completely suck at putting poses, so I'm not gonna bother, but this is a very, very nice robot mode. Like I said, the only gripe I have with it is this hair. I'll have to figure out some way of keeping these down so you can actually see everything, so it's not, you know, stopping everything up. The MechTech weapon itself, because of his hands, he can't hold anything. It's not gonna stay. So they've given you a port here. You just put the MechTech weapon on his hand, like that, and there you go. You've got Crankcase all suited up and ready to fight. This is a very, very nice figure. I mean, this is the only problem I can see with it. I definitely recommend anyone who's interested in Transformers to get this guy. And if anyone knows how to fix these, or if I'm doing something wrong with this, let me know. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys at the next review.